Rivers said that Michelle Obama was a man before she died.
Was that a joke? I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke too, but the way she said it wasn't like jokey. She was like, oh, come on, everybody knows Michelle Obama's the man. Like, remember that?
Yeah, like, would Big Mike kill you for that?
Well, I think she died because she had 1,000 plastic.
Michelle thinks American men suck.
Let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage.
Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld just launched a savage roast of Michelle Obama that shattered her media-built image into pieces. With fearless jokes and pinpoint shots, they sliced through the hype, the branding, and the shield of glowing press around her. From her crafted victim act to the queen-like praise she gets, nothing was off limits. If you've ever doubted the nonstop worship or sensed there's more behind that perfect grin, this explosive takedown brings the raw truth no one dared to say.
Jamie, there's a video of her and she's walking into her apartment building.
That right here. I just was playing the one that.
That's it. This is the one.
Or the first woman president.
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
a transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty funny how she said it.
Okay, we all know.
This choice is clear to the men that we love. Our lives are worth more than their anger and disappointment.
What's that pitter-patter sound I'm hearing in the background? It's the footsteps of Barack running to vote for...
Joe Rogan didn't wait for a big moment to go after Michelle Obama. This wasn't personal, it was pure showtime. She stepped back into the spotlight like a superstar craving one more standing ovation. And Joe? He couldn't resist. It felt like watching someone practice a presidential run in front of a Peloton screen. To him, it was all perfectly staged, victim vibes and green smoothies included.
Tim Dillon's video where he was saying that Michelle Obama should run for president. If she won, she could pull her cock out and China would just give up. I was wheezing. I couldn't breathe. Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Enjoying the video? Don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon. He eased in like a lion waking up before the hunt. No roar, just a smirk. A sip of something strong, and a look that screamed, this'll be fun. To him, Michelle Obama wasn't just politics. She was a brand, a product, a living algorithm, a luxury life coach dressed up as a rebel. Joe tore into how her public image felt more like a TED Talk crashed into a Lululemon ad. No policy, just poses. No plans, just vibes.
If they run Michelle. According to a new poll, Michelle Obama isn't as strong a Democratic candidate against former President Donald Trump as many Dems would have you believe. In a hypothetical matchup, my favorite kind. Trump wins with 47% of the vote compared to Michelle Obama's 44%. I guess some of the kids whose school lunches she ruined are finally...
He called her Netflix shows, podcasts, and arena tours the biggest political makeover ever staged. To Joe, Michelle wasn't just making a comeback, she was rolling out season 2 of her presidential teaser. A walking hashtag, perfectly mixed with Pinterest quotes and 5-star frustration. Joe said she had this wild talent for preaching about struggle, while lounging in a mansion that costs more than most people's lifetime earnings.
Joe Rogan is calling out Oprah and Michelle Obama for hypocritical speeches at the DNC. Watch.
She's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey, lady.
Yeah, I know.
You're rich as Like, how is that equal? And also, when Michelle Obama was saying, you know, I think she was saying her mother or grandmother was always suspicious of people who took more than they needed.
Yes.
Like, you are worth so much money.
Take more than they need. The Obamas have 4 mansions.
And Joe wasn't finished. He took aim at her endless speeches about struggle, while living one of the cushiest lives imaginable. It was like a duchess whining on stage about how exhausting it is to be adored. Joe joked her version of trauma was a rough lighting setup at a book event. And the media? They devoured it like it was the Gettysburg Address served with a side of organic kale.
Michelle Obama surprised fans on our new podcast by saying her pet peeve about her husband is that he's chronically late. For example, we're still waiting on him to admit he's from Kenya. And as for Barack's pet peeve about Michelle, he's mad that she keeps leaving the toilet seat up. When she cleans it.
Joe started heating up, finding his groove. He called out the irony of someone who lived in the White House for 8 years, then publishing a book about feeling invisible. He said Michelle was the only person who could talk about being marginalized while going viral for weeks. He compared her to an Olympic flame carried nonstop by the media, glowing with meaning she never actually earned. Then came the cultural takedown, and Joe loved it. He mocked her preachy talks on health and fitness. Her kale obsession? Like she thought spinach could fix racism. Joe joked kids didn't get healthier, they got sneakier. Lunchrooms turned into candy black markets. Her food reforms weren't bold, they were beige, bland, and left kids starving. Then he torched the holier-than-thou act. Michelle didn't just want influence, she wanted to be the national soul. Selling books wasn't enough. She had to be the nation's guru. Joe laughed hard, saying every sentence sounded like it came with a New York Times essay. Every gesture was practiced. Every grin felt like a photo op. She wasn't real. She was a brand campaign in sneakers.
Everybody having a good time. The country's almost back to normal before World War III. COVID was just so strange. We lost a lot of people during COVID, and most of them are still alive. Yeah. Before COVID, I would have told you that vaccines are the most important invention in human history. After COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon. I think Michelle Obama's got a dick. I think Pizzagate is real. I think there's direct energy weapons in Antarctica.
Then Greg Gutfeld stepped in swinging. He didn't just joke about Michelle Obama. He dissected her public image like a puzzle he couldn't resist. He didn't go after her personally. He went after the aura, the shield, the political perfume that made her untouchable. To Greg, Michelle wasn't a former first lady. She was the high priestess of progressive perfection. And he came ready to shatter the shrine. He started with her habit of framing the American story from a golden pedestal of struggle. Greg claimed Michelle had turned hardship into a personal brand. He said her speeches were therapy-like TED Talks, always circling back to the same punchline, even I have it hard in America. Greg cracked up, if you've got book deals, Ivy degrees, and a Netflix empire, and you're still oppressed, what chance do the rest of us have? He roasted the media's worship. Every sentence she spoke was treated like scripture. Greg joked if Michelle missed a stare, CNN would run a special on the weight of generational trauma. She couldn't just mess up, she had to be misjudged. She wasn't to be questioned, only praised. Greg shrugged, saying that kind of protection was reserved for kings and pop stars.
Obama has openly admitted that she and Barack sleep in separate bedrooms. Here's how it works. She sleeps downstairs, and he likes men. Chinning. The weather. Let's do a monologue. Michelle Obama's new podcast is off to a slow start, ranked at number 34 on Spotify. In her defense, most people don't like her.
Then Greg zeroed in on her activism. He roasted it as a glossy photo shoot wrapped in virtue and vague slogans. To him, every cause Michelle touched came with merch and a matching Instagram filter. She wasn't fixing the world, she was curating it. Greg said real activism doesn't have PR reps and streaming playlists. It has scars, sweat, and real stakes. And in his eyes, Michelle never gambled anything. Not her comfort, not her status, not her brand. He even shredded her memoirs. Greg said reading them felt like being stuck at a fancy party while someone lectures you on grit with a $400 Cabernet in hand. Every chapter came off like a humble brag soaked in designer struggle. She'd mastered the skill of stretching minor discomfort into epic trauma. Greg didn't buy the real label either. That whole down-to-earth image? He called it SpaceX-level fake. Her relatability was baked, staged, and double-checked by a team. He wasn't authentic. She was custom built to feel authentic. And when someone's got that much power, polish, and press control, they stop being relatable. They become a show. Then came the big swing. Greg pointed at the timing of it all, the hints, the speeches, the media glow-ups. None of it was random. He saw a test run, a political teaser wrapped in denial. Greg called it the prettiest stealth campaign America's ever seen. And if you didn't spot it, you weren't looking.